Here we go, the Rebel Show. I hope everyone's doing well. And you know what? We're here. We're at the beginning of November 2020. We've had a crazy, interesting year, and we are facing the vote. And this is what we've been building up to for years, is the importance of the vote, the value of the vote, and how to vote. Why we vote, you know? The value of the vote is every voice needs to be heard because people that we put in office, they need to be guided by us. We are the people. We are the ones who consent to be governed, and we do that by voting. And we consent by saying, you did a good job, I'm re-electing you, or you did a poor job, I'm not re-electing you. You did a great job in the courts, so we're going to keep you as a judge, or you did a poor job, and we're going to kick you out of the courts. We consent. Now we've got to decide what values we stand on. Do you have values? Like I often talk about swing states and how that's kind of confusing to me because do these people have no core values they stand on? They could just kind of flop around whatever sounds good. Whoever has the cooler hair, maybe whoever has the best sounding speech, you know? That to me is a poor way to live in life overall. A swing person. No, you should have some grounding. You should have some foundation. You should know what you believe and why. And you should believe something and not just be like a boat out on the ocean tossed to and fro. No, you should be like an aircraft carrier. You know where you're going, you know what you're doing, and you know why. You know, you have the tools to move around. So I have a biblical worldview. So I want to stand for liberties and freedoms. And there are things out there that I'm not for, such as abortion. I don't think we should have late-term abortion for sure. I'm not for that at all. We shouldn't be murdering anybody. There's maybe a scenario where that might be necessary, that action, but it shouldn't be like a birth control. You know, I stand for the godly things because it's the morality of us, it's the self-policing of us that keeps us free. Because if I choose to not rob my neighbor, they don't need to have a law that says don't rob your neighbor. You know, the Bible talks about love your neighbor as yourself. You know, if you just loved your neighbor as yourself, we wouldn't need all these laws, you know? If you loved your neighbor, you wouldn't cheat in business. You wouldn't rob. You wouldn't rape. You wouldn't steal. See, that's why our republic was built on morality, because the self-policing of each individual keeps us free. And the more laws we have, the less free we are. The more we give government, the less free we are. The private sector should be doing the majority of the work. The majority of taking neighbors, family, friends, relatives, the sick, you know. The churches should be doing that. The outreaches, the neighbor. We shouldn't be giving all this to government. It's more power, and it's too much. And we have a side now that just wants to grow government and take over and dictate everything you do in your life. And we've got another side that wants to bring freedom, mostly. You know, we have a candidate that can barely get out a sentence, and we have a candidate who can do 5 rallies in a day. We have a lot riding on this, and it's God's will that we vote. He commands us to pick leaders from among us to lead. Government is God designed. He designed it, or else we'd have anarchy, and he doesn't want that. So choose wisely. Choose biblically if you believe that. I do. Choose morality over chaos. It's the way we got to live. It's what we have to do. It's our duty. The vote is our duty. I believe we'll have to answer to God for the way we vote. And what are you going to say when he says, why did you vote this way? What was your thinking? You know, we got to be accountable to God. This vote is the most important vote of our lifetime. If we do not, or in my lifetime, some of our other lifetimes, if we do not stand up now towards the infiltration of communism in our country, there's really no going back. You know, once you get involved in this type of thing, once socialism, communism is fully implemented, you don't go back. I've heard it could take thousands of years to go back. And don't trust on, it's not like God's going to step in and stop it. He gave us authority on this planet. We make the choice. He may help influence some things and he'll speak to people, but he gave us authority on this planet. We choose what we do. We choose how we vote. We choose how we live. Do we really want government to come in and totally change the way we have an economy? You know, that last episode I talked about that AOC staffer, basically chief of staff, that said that the New Green Deal is about taking over and changing the economy. Really, they want to take away capitalism and install more of a socialistic government-controlled thing. Dude, the government can barely even run the DMV and the VA. Why would we give them any more? We need to take from the government and give back to the free states. And we can't do that if we're socialist or communist. We can't do that if our guns are taken away and they can just oppress whoever they want. They're already oppressing Jews in New York. When are they coming for you? When are they coming for you? Vote like they're coming for you soon. Because it's the white man next, I think. So be careful. I believe we are in a time where things are changing, and they're going to be changing for the good. I think good is still in store for us. I think we're in good shape. I think there's going to be a turnout this election that's really going to show, the left that they've picked their battle, and Americans aren't backing down, because Americans are not socialist communists. There's a few loud people out there, and we're going to overcome them. We're going to beat them. We're going to crush them. But we need every vote, and we need everybody to vote their values and vote biblically. Even if you're not a Christian, vote for life. Vote for freedom. Vote for the opportunity to go out and start a business and have free trade. Vote for the ability to be able to have a 401k and a strong stock market and a strong economy. Vote for people to be able to grow and build their own wealth. The more wealthy people we can build, the stronger the economy will be. The more inventions we'll have. You know, they have Space Force now. They want to send people out in space and make sure that we can defend ourselves in space if we need to. How do you do that as a poverty-stricken nation? And on top of that, think of all the other nations that America helps financially. How do we do that if we're in socialism and we're all equally poor? How do we change the world poor? No. We need to abound in finances so that we can give to every good work, the Bible says. So let's work at electing a president that will fight for American values, not for communism or socialism. And don't vote personality, vote policy. Some candidates, you may not like their personality and you don't like some of the way they handle themselves and say different things. I can understand that, but look at the policy. What do the policies say? What do they stand for? What do they fight for? That's the important thing. It's not their personality, because there's a variety of personalities. People could have bad personalities but be geniuses and do a lot of good. And there can be great personalities and bad policy that really hinders a country. So I encourage everybody to really think about this. Don't let a day go by. Don't let the time go by without filling out your ballot. There's a lot of guides out there. We need to save our communities. We need to get back to being neighborly. We need to save our towns. We need to save our states. We cannot let this communist agenda continue. And I would recommend researching this a little bit, because there's a lot of things that have happened in the United States that I didn't know that they were related to a plan of implementing, the communist agenda. But it's out there, such as taking prayer out of schools, pushing for the homosexual agenda, feminism. Feminism is designed to make the stay-at-home mom unsatisfied and feel like she's not worthy or not doing the right thing, so she needs to get out there and work. It's to destroy the core of the family. That's a huge part of all the communist agenda. It's taking things God created as good and destroying them, right? Remove God from life. Remove the family, destroy the family. You know, God wanted a family. That's why he created mankind, all right? That's why he didn't create robots. He created people and gave them a free will because he wanted a family. He wanted people to choose to be in relationship with him or not. Like we pick a wife, and we have a child. That's how you build a family. And communists want to destroy that. So they'll come up with all these things that kind of like sound frilly-nilly, but deep down, they're here to destroy the system God implemented. So this vote is upholding our truth, what's right, what's godly. And like, even if you're not a Christian, we should believe in free speech and freedom of religion and the right to bear arms and protect ourselves. These are core foundational, and we need to fight and keep them because we don't want the government coming in and taking our property. We don't want that. So I just want to say, I'm counting on everyone out there. Go out and vote biblically and vote. It's the most important thing we can do right now, and I trust that everyone's going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and cut off here, but thank you very much. Go Trump.